going to call the meeting to order. It's a meeting of the City Council for City of Belleville, February 17th, 2015. Just take it over to him. I think the keys just get it good. Mr. Right there. Send it hard. At this time, I will ask the clerk to call roll call of aldermen.
Alderman Heisler.
Here.
Alderman Kinsella.
Here.
Alderman Meyer.
Here.
Alderman Schmidt.
Here.
Alderman Ridgewitz.
Here.
Alderman Randall.
Here.
Alderman Anthony.
Here.
Alderman Davidson.
Here.
Alderman Silsby.
Here.
Alderman Hayden.
Here.
Alderman Seibert.
Here.
Alderman White.
Here.
Alderman Galletti.
Here.
Alderman Musgrove.
Here.
Alderman Orlett.
Here.
Alderman Schneider.
Here.
All the aldermen are present. Roll call of department heads.
Police Chief Clay. Fire Chief Poore. City Attorney Horner. Ken Vaughn. Royce Carlisle. Jamie Matrit. Tim Gregowitz. Jim Schneider. Leander Spearman. Chuck Schaefer. Bob Sabo. Debbie Belleville. City Treasurer Hart.
Here. Chief Clay's right outside the door. Garrett Harner's on his way. Chuck Schaefer is excused. Mike Parks is here in his absence. And who else did I miss? Oh, and Jim Schneider's on vacation. He's excused. Did I miss anyone else? I think that's everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you'd please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, as you probably were aware, we held a public hearing. For those of you who were here a little bit early, we held the public hearing pertaining to the Shrine's extension of the enterprise zone. So that's already been held this evening. At this time, we're going to open public participation for the remaining of the council agenda. I will ask you and tell you that I will call on you. You raise your hand. When you get called on, go to the microphone. Please give your name, prefer your address, that we, in case we had to follow up and contact you about something, we'd have it. And try to keep your comments to 2 to 3 minutes, and try to keep it in regards to items that are on the agenda or for certainly city business. So at this time, I will open public participation. Who would like to speak this evening? Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Chris Eckert, address 946 South Greenmount Road, Belleville, Illinois. And I am speaking tonight on behalf of my family and the TIF project proposed at the Shrine. First of all, I want to say thank you to the council for supporting my family and our project 5 years ago that we did. But for the TIF that we received, we would not be able to have done the project that we did. And it's been very successful for the city, I believe, and for us as well. And I just wanted to share some stats as a result of our expansion. We've increased sales $3 million in the last 4 years. We've added $1 million in wages to the local community. We estimate that about 60% of our customers are from Missouri. That translates into about 80,000 additional visitors from St. Louis annually to Belleville, and that's growing. We're still increasing sales and traffic. And we host about 250,000 people from Missouri to Eckert's every year, and I think projects like we see going at the Shrine are similar in regards to bringing people from outside of the region to our city and helping people see how great it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Who would like to go next? Yes, sir, in the back of the room. You.
My name is Bill Bremen. I live at 5500 Nora Court in Belleville. And I want to speak and give voice to the many people who in the News Democrat said that they were against this project. I don't know why they don't want to lend their name to their comments, but they're obviously concerned that this should not go forward. It's a matter of putting the horse before the cart. And Mr. Eckert, I know that you've been very successful out there, and it's been on the taxpayers' dollars, sir. So I might mention that. And to be very honest with you, I can't afford to shop at your store. But never mind that. Here we are. We're talking about a proposal, and we didn't have to vet you because we know who you are and your family is in St. Clair County for many years. But we have not vetted this Keller organization. We have no information about them.
Point of order.
Okay, mister, stick to your comments because you're stating things that you don't know all the details here and you're...
Well, sir, we would never know all the details coming from you because we are not given any of the details. It's last minute. If on the same page here, shrine priest order to release records, this is a federal court saying that the shrine needs to release records. These are people that can be trusted. So the oblates are the ones that vetted the Keller organization. City of Belleville, as far as I know, didn't spend any money to vet this organization, but we're going to take what the shrine said as gospel, and we're going to go ahead and put the city on a hook for $15 million. That's all I've got to say. And the information that I don't have, many of your council members don't have.
Thank you. Who would like to be next? Yes, sir.
Michael Hagberg, 701 Centerville Avenue. Please don't interpret any of my comments to mean that I'm in favor or opposed to the Shrine Agreement. I can count the Good Government Party members, and I'm very aware that this agreement has an overwhelming possibility of passing this evening. That being said, my comments are to ensure that the taxpayers receive the best deal possible. Striking the upfront financing of $15.6 million makes the agreement presented tonight substantially different than the agreement presented before last week's Economic Development Committee. Still, a major problem with this agreement is the vague language of up to 4 additional upscale restaurants. This should be written clear, unambiguous language as a minimum of 4 additional upscale restaurants. When you say up to 4 additional, it could in fact mean 0 additional. Other language in the agreement, such as approximately 130 room upscale hotel. It should state a minimum number of hotel rooms. Why sign an agreement that will only lead to lawyers arguing the definition of approximately 130? I would conclude in stating that although exhibits A through G are referenced in this agreement, they are not provided to the public packet, and I would hope that the aldermen have received copies in advance of tonight's meeting so that they could have been reviewed and have due diligence done. Thank you.
Thank you. Who would like to go next? Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name is Carl Tinney. I live at 550 Lamask Drive, as well as own Tinney Tool and Machine Company here in Belleville. I represent concerned citizens, and I am one of the closest residents to the proposed development across from the shrine. Mayor Eckert, City Council, fellow citizens, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I would also like to thank Karen Mark and others for the remarks and show my full support and agreement with the concerns that she has brought forward in opposition to the new development. In addition to these concerns, I would also like to highlight a few reasons why I am in opposition to this development. When my family and I had our house built 14 years ago off Lamask Drive, it was because a little piece of heaven in an area that was not developed and surrounded by nature. It is a place to call home, a place for my wife who struggles with various mental and physical illnesses to live in peace. This peace and park-like setting will soon be damaged by the new development, causing unseen effects on our neighborhood and the surrounding wildlife. Furthermore, this development could cause additional traffic to come down Lamask Drive. Lamask Drive dead ends into my driveway. Too often I find myself dealing with strangers at night in my driveway looking for a quick way to cut through to Highway 15. I fear this will only make matters worse. What happens to a single-lane oiled and chipped road not designed to handle additional traffic when it starts to crumble away? In this case, it will do exactly that, crumble away. Who is going to cover the cost of maintaining Lamask Drive due to increased traffic? I currently spend an average of between $500 and $750 a year maintaining parts of Lamask Drive, even though I already pay taxes for road maintenance because it is not properly maintained. Also, I feel there will be additional burden placed upon police department due to new patrol areas, as well as the potential for added crime to new development in this area. As a business owner for over 20 years in Belleville, I feel the way the city has handled this project is not the way I would handle my business. What about using those funds to redevelop vacant properties across the city that need updating, such as the vacant Westfield Plaza where Kmart is just over 2 miles down the road, the vacant Walmart building off Carlisle, or even going forward with the redevelopment of the Meredith home into the Belleville Hotel. City Council, put yourself in my shoes. If you lived in a peaceful, undeveloped area surrounded by nature and wildlife for 14 years or more, and now all of a sudden you have this 1,500 feet from your front door, I encourage you to rethink this development and consider using the city's resources and our tax dollars for better use in areas that need it much more than this development. Once again, thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Roger Wigginton, 8020 West Main, Belleville. You know, I've lived in West Belleville a long time, been in business for 38 and a half years. There's nobody that understands more about economic development than I do. I've talked to a lot of people about this. I've looked at this. We just came out of the Great Recession. Every community around us is looking to attract businesses. Our next growth area is definitely Route 15. We've got great growth on the east with Eckert's. We've got great growth in the center. We need growth on the west end of Route 15. The Shrine is struggling. It's a fact of the matter, the way it is. If we would lose the Shrine and that property, it would not only be devastating for West Belleville, all of Belleville, but the entire surrounding area. You know, sometimes you got to spend money to make money. You can slice this and dice this any way you want. But I've been on Inland Woods Development Committee for 10 years. We have to have a hotel and a convention center to support that university. These people, when they come to town, you know where we send them? We send them out to O'Fallon, Edwardsville, Swansea to stay in hotels. You know where they go to have their graduations? They have it at the Collinsville Convention Center because we do not have a convention center. Sometimes, you know, you can only split hairs so many ways. But the fact of the matter is, if we don't get this development, somebody else is going to get this development. The Shrine needs help. Sometimes you got to put politics aside. Sometimes you got to be smart business people. I think in this situation, and let me tell you, I've labored over this, I've thought about it, I've talked about it to a lot of people. I know the impact that this is going to have on Route 15. That is the only way we can grow. We are a landlocked city, and if we don't do this project, chances are people are going to say, you know what, we're not a business-friendly town. Why look at Belleville again? They turned down a great opportunity to have a hotel, convention center, restaurant. Now, whether we end up with 3 or 4 hotels, who knows? Whether we end up with 3 or 4 restaurants, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is we have to start somewhere. That is the fact of the matter. This is the nucleus of the whole thing. I urge the council to look at this very closely. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else who'd like to speak now in public? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Patty Gregory, number 4 Raintree Woods in Belleville, Illinois. I also live on the west end of Belleville, and I also am the executive director of Art on the Square, which has been very good for the city of Belleville. But I will tell you, one of the things that we hear every year from artists that are attending our show is, when is Belleville going to get a hotel? I mean, it's really, they love our town. We have hundreds and thousands of people that enter our show, but yet we have no place to send them to when they stay. And we also bring about 85,000 visitors every year to the show. And those people, according to our demographics, at least 10%, and that is not counting the artists that are here, are from out of state coming here. There's no place to send them but to Fairview Heights or O'Fallon. And I really feel that we need this hotel. As a West End resident, we want this hotel and this convention center. I think there's no place really in town to have a big, huge reception or a huge event. And I just think it's going to be nothing but a plus, plus, plus. And I do feel it will be a huge jumpstart to Route 15. And if you are residents of the West End of Belleville, I think you would know how much we need this hotel on the West End. And I'm very grateful for the Keller family coming forward and to talk with the city about this proposal. Thank you.
Anyone else this evening? I'm going to close public participation, and we're going to move into the regular portion of the meeting. We flip to page 2, this time under appointments and presentations. The first thing, 7A, I'd like to recommend to appoint Jessica Muckensturm as administrative assistant to the mayor's office. You were all made aware a couple weeks ago that the young lady who worked for us, worked for me the last year or so, is getting married and moved to Indiana. So do I hear a motion?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll make that motion.
Motion by Alderman Heisler. Second. Second by Alderman Kinsella. Discussion. Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella. Meyer. Schmidt. Ridgewitz. Randall. Anthony. Davidson. Silsby. Hayden. Seibert. White. Galletti. Musgrove. Orlett. Schneider.
Motion carries. Jessica, you want to stand up? We'll recognize you. Welcome to work tomorrow. Aaron will be happy to have you there. It's been, that place is a zoo. Okay, the next item. First of all, we'll note also that Mr. Harner is here, so we're glad to have you. Presentation by Economic Development Resources on the eligibility study for Route 15 North Business District. Where'd he go? Here we go, Mr. Narber. Are you going to make a few comments?
Mr. Mayor, this presentation pertains to the eligibility study for this 45-acre property at Route 15 and North Demazinot Drive in the city of Belleville. This area contains one parcel of approximately 33 acres and an abutting portion of State Route 15 of about 12 acres, making a total of approximately 45 acres. We have reviewed this area for its eligibility to be a business district as defined in the Illinois Business District Law, and have determined that the area does meet the eligibility requirements as a blighted area, and thus this 45-acre area is a blighted area as determined and defined in the Business District Law. Our eligibility study reviews the factors that we found that led us to this conclusion, and these are outlined in the eligibility study that has been provided to the city. These factors include defective, non-existent, or inadequate street layout, unsanitary or unsafe conditions, the deterioration of improvements on the site, improper subdivision or obsolete platting, and the existence of conditions which endanger life or property by fire or other causes. Our conclusion is that by the reason of the predominance of or any combination of the above-mentioned factors, the area proposed as a business district retards the provision of housing accommodations or constitutes an economic or social liability, an economic underutilization of the area, or a menace to the public health, safety, morals, or welfare. And our report goes on to identify our conclusions pertaining to economic liability, social liability, economic underutilization of the proposed business district, and the area as a menace to the public health, safety, or welfare. I'd be happy to answer any questions that there may be.
Any questions from the council? Anyone have any questions for Mr. Narber's remarks this evening? This is certainly mandated by the procedures we must follow.
Yes, sir.
And this is on a schedule of events.
Yes, it's on a schedule of events. This is the first presentation. It has to do with the eligibility of the area.
If there's no questions, I thank you, Mr. Narber, and we appreciate the presentation and the update at this time. At this time, we will move on to the approval of the minutes, City Council meeting minutes from February 2nd, 2015. What's your pleasure?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll make a motion to receive and file the movements.
Motion by Alderman Heisler. Do I hear a second? Second by Alderman Schmidt. Do I hear any discussion or comments? All in favor of receiving and file the minutes from February 2nd signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I think we're going to wait for the executive session minutes until executive session because there was a couple questions raised to me. Is that okay? So I will defer them until we get to executive session. Claims, payroll, and disbursements. Do I hear a motion?
Yes, Your Honor, I make a motion to pay the claims, payrolls, and disbursements. So moved, Your Honor.
Motion by Alderman Heisler, second by Alderman Schmidt. Do I hear discussion on the claims and the payroll? Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella. Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Ridgewitz. Randall. Anthony. Davidson. Silsby. Hayden. Seibert. White. Galletti. Musgrove. Orlett. Schneider.
Aye.
Motion carries. Ask for a motion to approve the treasurer's report and receive and file City of Belleville funds and statement of cash and investments for December 2014 and January 2015. What's your pleasure?
So moved.
Motion to receive and file by Alderman Schmidt, second by Alderman Heisler. Discussion. All in favor of receiving and filing for audit signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We go to standing committee reports, and I'll go first to economic development. Mr. Kinsella.
I move on behalf of Economic Development that we accept the Route 15 North Business District eligibility study and place it on file.
We have a motion by Alderman Kinsella. Do I hear a second? Second by Alderman Schmidt. Do I hear discussion? Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Ridgewitz. Randall. Anthony. Davidson. Silsby. Hayden. Seibert. White. Galletti. Musgrove. Orlett. Schneider.
No.
The ayes have it. Alderman Kinsella.
On behalf of Economic Development, I move that we authorize the Economic Development Resources to complete the Route 15 North Business District Plan.
I have a motion by Alderman Kinsella. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Anthony. Do I hear discussion?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Was there supposed to be something in the packet regarding this particular item?
Eric, was there something
All I
that we're
have in the
missing?
packet is this motion in the agenda, and there is nothing in the packet to support it.
The study was in the packet, the eligibility study.
Okay, so this is referring to the eligibility study then?
With this, they can move forward then with the plan, which was part of their original contract.
Okay.
So they will then develop, if it's approved, they will develop the plan to bring back before the committee, or the
Okay.
council.
Okay. We have a motion and we have a second, correct? I'd ask for a roll call vote.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Ridgewitz. Randall. Anthony. Davidson. Silsby. Hayden. Seibert. White. Galletti. Musgrove. Orlett. Schneider.
No.
Ayes have it. Alderman Kinsella.
I make a motion to approve an amended development agreement with TJBC Incorporated to complete Phase 2 of the remodeling and expansion located at 4204 West Main Street.
Motion by Alderman Kinsella, second by Alderman Anthony. Discussion on this motion. Yes, ma'am.
Do we realize that this is the fourth time of an agreement at that address? We did an agreement on, get the first one, 18th day of April of 2005. It's the address, but it was not this, it was not the owner that went out for this agreement. Then on the 6th day of September of 2005, it was Kennedy that went out for this as amended. It has just been a year on the 18th day of February of 2014 when the development agreement was made. And now on the 17th day, it has not been a year, 17th day of February of 2015, we're amending it. This is what we did with the car dealership on West Main Street. Amended, and then it was sold. I feel they have one agreement that was done last year on the 18th day of February. Let's get at least a year in before we start amending and redoing the agreements. If I understand right, it's because of buying the Popeyes restaurant and wanting to expand. I think we need to check on our agreements that we have done. I have asked about one, and maybe I need to ask the attorney this. If we have no litigation papers, it's not in litigation, so we can speak about agreements.
I would recommend against it if they're considered imminent litigation. If it's something that we're currently considering litigating, I would recommend against public discussion of it.
So we can do that in executive session then?
That's where I would recommend the discussion take place.
Okay, that one I will talk about in executive session. I'm sure we all read the Belleville paper. We have a restaurant leaving Belleville. And on February 18, 2014, Alderman Silsby made a motion on behalf of the Economic Development and Annexation Committee, seconded by Alderman Schmidt, to approve the development agreement with DAX, GITCHO, I don't want to butcher the name, for remodeling and facade improvement at 4508 West Main. That is the Olympia restaurant that is moving to Swansea in the old Joe Bacardi's restaurant.
That's correct. And there's already an application filed or it's in the process of putting another restaurant back in this location by the owners.
Is it the same owner and the same people? Because we have a development agreement.
They never signed that development agreement, so it's null and void.
It's null and void. They just never move forward.
Do we, as aldermen, not get told this when development agreements are signed and not signed? Should we not have been told that this wasn't
Alderman Schneider,
not executed?
I don't know if we made it, if we came around and told everybody. As you know, we've been two people short in this office
But this was
for
last
months.
year.
For
This
months.
was last year.
Okay.
And I still have the floor, and at the last meeting, when I was speaking, Alderman Silsby had me hurry up and be quiet because of the Robert Rules of Order. But you, as the chairman of this meeting, are you supposed to be speaking at this meeting?
Alderman Schneider, you want to finish your comments?
Well, on that
We
one
went.
I am,
We just have gone through a training, and when you ask questions, and as the chief executive officer of the city of Belleville on a day-to-day basis, if you ask questions, sometimes you're asking me, you're asking the staff, and I represent the administration. I have to answer them.
Eric was here, so I.
Okay. What else would you like to add to your comments?
Well, on this one, that's all, because this will be the fourth agreement since 2005, so.
Okay. Alderman Cancel.
Your Honor, I'd like to mention that this is probably really great news that we have another agreement. This restaurant has been so successful, and the brewery's been so successful, that they're expanding. And I don't care whether it's an entire year or 2 days after, they are putting a lot of work into this, and we wish them great success. And what we are doing is we're amending the original agreement, or the latest agreement, because it was cleaner and more transparent than if we tacked another agreement on. And I think it's just wonderful that a facility has come to the city of Belleville and blossomed as much as they have, and it's a very positive thing, not a negative thing.
Alderman Hayden.
Yes, Your Honor, I support this project. I wish him luck too. I do recall though at one of the meetings, I can't remember which one, there was a question raised in relation to the wholesale tax and how it relates to
And
this.
that's still being reviewed. It's actually still being, there's a number of questions that they called my office today, and they're in touch with a local distributor and those questions, and I need to talk to Mr. Harner about some of that, because that's a little bit new to us. We have not had a brewery here since Stag Brewery left in '89.
But those wholesale figures were not factored into his
No, because he
sale
was
figures.
uncertain exactly of some of the answers. He was still waiting from the state to get some answers
Okay,
as
I
well.
just want to make sure he wasn't putting figures that he may
No.
not be able to count on and get
No.
into trouble, because I
No,
think
he's still,
got a
he's
good deal
still
going.
seeking some answers.
Okay, great, excellent, thank you.
We have a motion and a second, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the motion is to approve this agreement with TJBC, which is 4204 West Main Street. Are there any further questions? Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Ridgewitz.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Anthony.
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Silsby.
Aye.
Hayden.
Aye.
Seibert.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Galletti.
Aye.
Musgrove.
Aye.
Orlett. Schneider.
No.
Ayes have it. We move over to the next page.
I make a motion to approve a redevelopment agreement with Missionary Ventures LLC for the redevelopment of 33 acres located at Illinois Route 15 and North Damascus Drive.
Motion by Alderman Kinsella, second by Alderman Anthony. Discussion. Alderman Hayden.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, I want to thank sent some questions in. I want to thank the city attorney for responding to those questions earlier today. I also had follow-up questions. You've stated before, Your Honor, that the Oblates have vetted this developer. Can you state on record who or whom for the Oblates have vetted this developer?
The attorneys for the Oblates, it's fair to say, the attorneys that they hired both in Belleville and out of Washington DC, both, correct?
Correct. Have you seen copies of those studies and reports that they did?
I did not ask for specific copies of them, no.
So the city has no record of that?
No, because the city is not taking the loans, we're not writing any notes, and we are not responsible for any of the financial dealings with the $50 million that they're borrowing or bringing forth.
We're entering into an agreement with them, Your Honor. Has the city seen any study that supports that the Shrine Hotel will work there, especially the number of room generators, the average daily rates for these generators, the projected occupancy rates for years 1 through 5, and the projected revenue per available room, which is called a REVPAR for years 1 through 5? Have you seen any studies?
Mr. Hayden, I have had many conversations, and the financial person for the developer has made it very clear that they have had to do a lot of due diligence to get their investors and to get the hotel chains to come to the table to consider and look at, review, and move forward on this project at that site. They have met that due diligence, or they wouldn't be before us now, and they wouldn't be going for their asking us to do what we're involved in, far as the TIF and Business District, and they would not be moving forward with other investors and with all the different various things that they're spending money on with architects, et cetera. They've had to do an enormous amount of due diligence to get the hotel chains.
My question, Your Honor, is has the city seen these studies, and do we have copies of them?
No, the city has not asked to see their personal paperwork on their due diligence, since they are the ones that are going to be getting the franchise, and they are the ones that are going to be doing the due diligence on the hotel and on the convention center.
Even though we're the ones that are going to be putting up the money for...
We're not putting up, when you say, Mr. Hayden,
Yes.
let's make this clear again tonight.
Yes. Yes, we are.
No, the city is not giving this developer any upfront money. That is a myth. They are financing the whole thing. When they pay their taxes after they get their first tax bill on the $50 million investment, then and only then do they get a rebate from the city. The 1% business district tax, when it's officially all approved, hopefully, by the state, and that business district becomes certified, only if people shop there and pay that tax do they receive that tax. We don't give them anything ahead of time. The only thing we're doing up front, and I've repeated this in every committee meeting we've had, the city has voted to do the sewer engineering, and when the time comes that they start digging ground on their personal project, we will then start digging to put the sewer in. We won't start putting a sewer in until they're ready to dig and start putting in buildings. So the most we would be out if this city went awry, if this project went awry, heaven forbid, would be the engineering on the sewer, but we could still use that in the future because hopefully this 177 acres will be developed in the future. It will be strong to help sustain the shrine, and it will be there to help Belleville. So we have very little risk, and we are giving them no money at any time in advance, only rebates to what they pay. I can't say that enough times. This has been misquoted countless times.
So it's safe to say that the city has not received a Smith travel report as it relates to this multi-million-dollar hotel?
We've not asked for a Smith travel report. I'm not sure if, you know, if Forrest and his clients are, you know, what exactly they're doing. But believe me, for them to get a franchise with the Hoffer House and to lock in a chain hotel and eventually a second chain hotel.
Do we have a contract with the chain hotel?
What?
Do we have a contract with the chain hotel?
Do we have the contract?
Is there a contract?
They're working on that right now, and they're working on signing it.
So they don't have that on a contract?
I don't think they did as of yesterday, but I know they're very close.
Okay. Do you know, or does the developer know, is there a developer fee involved in this project?
No? Okay, Mr. Langenfeld is saying no. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but if that, okay?
Thank you. Have they provided the city construction estimates for the project?
We've had some preliminary, but once again, they're right now, as we move forward, moving forward with their architects and engineers to get the whole project design and get final figures, correct?
I asked that question, Your Honor, because you know, again, you're stating that the city's only going to be providing once things come in, but the only way that we can fairly protect our interest is to quantify the expenses on their part as it relates to what they're wanting their money back for. This is a question for the city attorney. Since the city is essentially going to be helping finance this project, will this require a prevailing wage?
There's an express provision in the contract requiring that prevailing wage be followed.
Okay. Thank you. Have we received from the developers any figures of how successful the other Hofbrew houses are in other communities that would be able to qualify what we are
I have visited the one in Covington, Kentucky, and the one in Chicago twice.
The question, Your Honor, was have we seen figures, actual figures that have been certified that we could base our figures on of what we're...
I personally spoke to the owner of the Hoffer House in Chicago, and they are very pleased with, they've only been open 2 years.
But have we seen figures, copies?
I've not seen figures. I did not ask the president of the Hoffer House in Chicago to show me his books. We did go up there and we did tour the project, and it's amazing.
The developer should have asked that and provided that.
The developer has had countless trips. He's been to Germany. He's been to Munich working on this, the whole family. Believe me, they have done thorough investigation, but that's their money they're putting up for the franchise. The city is not spending the money on the franchise. So that's their due diligence. And believe me, they wouldn't get a franchise of this significant. This will only be the 7th one in the country. They would not get one if they didn't meet very stringent criteria and approval. It wouldn't happen. I was fortunate enough to meet with the gentleman who's the president of the American-German Hofferhaus
Okay.
franchises.
I got it, Mayor, I got it.
Oh, good, okay.
I got it. So, have we seen the developer has stated that the developer's gonna put 50 million towards this project? Have we seen their letter of credit with the bank? I assume not, based on your previous answers.
I don't think we've gotten to that point yet. They're still trying to get all the people, all their ducks in a row, but, I mean, they're not gonna have a problem providing that at some point in time, I'm sure, and, like I said, and as you know, Mr. Hayden, you've been involved with this for a long time. To follow all the but-fars of the TIF, it would be, the earliest would be probably sometime in June, early June, that they could even begin. So there's a lot of checks and balances that must go on, as you know, and this council's well aware, as we work through this process and do our due diligence with the developer. This is just the early phases of getting this project moving. I mean, it's, once we do this, yes, we're pretty much out of the gate, but we're not breaking ground tomorrow.
I understand that, Your Honor. The point being, and I want to make this very clear, as I've tried to several times. I am very pro-development. I am very pro-Belleville. Lived here all my life. I'm very pro-Shrine, as a citizen, as an alderman, and as a Roman Catholic. But we have duties that we have to do. You keep saying the city is not going to get nothing until they make something, and we're not spending nothing until they make something. But eventually, the city, Your Honor, is investing into this program. And in my considered opinion, we have not done, on the city's behalf, the proper due diligence to vet this organization, these developers, and make it clear in our mind that before we spend all this time with meetings and looking at studies, do we know for sure? You're saying that they couldn't get this or they couldn't get that. At the last joint meeting, we were told we had to change language because they couldn't get a contract with the Hyatt place. Now, I'm not bad rapping any of those people because I want them to be successful. I want the Shrine to be successful. I want the city of Belleville to be successful. But we don't have all the facts, and we should have these facts because it is the city being involved in this, and we have just not done, in my considered opinion, the proper due diligence. You know, I asked the city attorney in relation to, and he responded, and again, I appreciate that, to make sure, we don't get in any situation of potential advance payments. And he told me that there's language in there that doesn't allow that. But yet, we had a TIF 16 that had basically the same language, and we ended up giving them advanced payments. And that is part of what my concern is, Your Honor, especially when we don't do proper vetting, is if we get into this situation and financial constraints come within a year or two into the project, and then we're back at the table where they need more advances instead of the 50%, they want 100%, and we're in a catch-22 because if we don't give them, they can't go forward, and the project may drop. And if we do it, then we're giving up our money. These are all safe clauses that should be inherent to protect our end of the deal. And again, I don't believe we have done our proper due diligence at this time. Thank you.
Mr. Hayden, I'm sorry you don't feel that way. I can tell you, bringing a development to Belleville of this magnitude has taken a lot of time and a lot of relationship building. The staff and I have worked countless hours, and I can assure you, there's no project that any staff or any alderman or any mayor can bring you to the table that's 100% guaranteed. But I can tell you that this particular group, we all feel very confident that they have obtained an awful lot of hurdles already. Getting the Shrine and the Oblates to agree to this project was no easy task. getting the number of interested financial partners. They have actually done that pretty quickly, as I watched. They're not asking for any upfront money. To get the Hopfer House, after I sat, and my point was earlier to tell you, after I met with some of the top officials from the Hopfer House, they included me, I can tell you, that was no easy franchise to acquire. That is something that is very, I'd almost use the word sacred, very coveted to achieve. And this business group has done that. They have already overcome a monumental amount of hurdles. I firmly believe that we need this project. We need, as mentioned by several people here, hotels, quality hotels. We need jobs. We need to find things that have more sales tax revenue, utility tax revenue. We need this to grow our city. Can be a major positive coup for the Route 15 corridor and for Belleville. Tonight is another step along the way. Yes, there could be something unfortunate that unraveled as we go, but I would ask this council to support this tonight. This is a positive project, and we should be actually counting our lucky stars that we have something of this magnitude that can help jumpstart the economy here in Belleville, just coming off this very, very serious recession. So I hope we've answered at least most of your questions. Alderman Randall.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to try to be as brief as what I possibly can, but there are three things about the proposal I'd like to discuss. But first, what I'd like to do is thank all the members of the public for their comments this evening. They have been duly noted. What I'd like to talk about are the financials, the hotel, the convention center, and the gas diesel convenience store and the fast food plaza that's been proposed here. Allow me to start with the financials. The greatest single impediment to any deal is the money. It's the source of financing that remains a mystery to me. Put simply, I want to know what your banker knows, especially as it pertains to the hotel, the convention center, the Hofbrau House, and the other upscale restaurants that are proposed. To me, the hotel is the linchpin to this deal. Losing a brand like the Hyatt with its strenuous standards is hard to digest. Not knowing the player to be named later makes it impossible to proceed with the convention center and questions the location of the Hofbrau House and the other proposed restaurants. What that leaves us with is the gas, diesel, convenience store, and fast food plaza, all along the first property to be developed, the staple of the Keller Oil enterprise to be built at the doorstep of Belleville, poised to capture westbound traffic flow prior to the Flying J service station 1.2 miles down the hill. Allow me to summarize. To move forward to approve this agreement with the lack of financial transparency would be negligent on the part of this council and its fiduciary responsibility to the taxpayers of the city. Without a commitment from a brand hotel, there is no convention center, no upscale restaurants. What I don't want to see is another Executive Inn. What we do know is there will be a gas and convenient mart that will cost a tad over $2 million to sewer. I gave a wide berth to this project, hoping to get more information by decision time, but that has not been forthcoming to my satisfaction. I would ask that or I would make a motion, we table this motion until such time as all pertinent financial and discovery information from studies is shared by the developer for council to make an informed decision.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second to defer the project?
Defer the project. Table it until we get more information.
Okay, well, hold it. I didn't recognize you. Alderman Seibert has not spoke yet. Alderman Seibert?
Yes, Your Honor, when this development gets underway, and I know it will, are we going to have to build a new firehouse to take care of this development?
No.
And that nursing home that's there?
No. And the chief, I got a letter to pass out here, and the police chief and fire chief are here. They're at this point, unless there's some super amount of additional development on that corridor that would come along, that would be wonderful. But at this point in time, my department heads and I have met, and you know, we can handle, these buildings are all gonna be sprinkled, right, Tom?
Yeah, the ones that are required to be sprinkled.
And we, you know,
Where would it come from, Your Honor?
what's that?
Where would the fire protection come from?
To our city
West Main
stations.
Street?
You have West Main, you have number 2s coming out on 15, and you have number 4s that come straight down 15.
That's a long way.
Well, right now, they have a volunteer department that comes from home first, then goes to Signal Hill on Hazel Avenue to pick up the trucks, and then go out there. Believe me, I believe our men will be able to get there a lot quicker. We've been the backup for the Shrine all these years. Our men have been out there. They've already done a number of tours, right, Tom? And they've done a number of studies on preparation plans and plan of attacks. And Signal Hill will be our backup like we were their backup for years.
You know, we would be first responders.
We will be the first responder. We are now. They're in the city of Belleville.
That's a long way.
Well, it was a long way before we had engine house number 4 to go to the backside of the orchards. You know? Mr. White, did you have something?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. If I could just make just a couple quick comments here. The way I see this whole thing tonight is we have 2 options. The first one is we can move this project forward to the next step. And as been stated, we're facing a lot of financial challenges right now. We're coming out of a historically slow economic recovery and seriously poor employment. There are risks involved in any economic development. There's no guarantee that anything's going to happen. But taking my job fairly seriously, I've done a lot of research, and I believe in this case that the positive factors in this project outnumber those that could be considered negative. The developer is investing a considerable amount of money and with limited obligations from the city. I've done research on other projects that have been done in other states. I spent hours on the internet looking at these, and I've seen a lot of developments where the person requesting the money is getting a considerable amount of money up front in their project. One of them was as much as $13.3 million up front on the project. Our second part is we can effectively stop this project by our votes tonight. I mean, we could do that. And if that's your devoting, I ask my fellow councilmen, if that's your decision, I would like to direct you for just a second to the redevelopment agreement, paragraph 2, that I think would give us a little bit more time to further get answers to our questions. And I think we're getting good answers. The time today that the developer devoted to coming out and answering questions, and I would look forward to the staff continuing this. But that paragraph reads, in part, on or about May 26, 2015, the mayor and the city council, corporate authorities, will consider the adoption of 1, ordinance approving the redevelopment plan. We're looking right now, simply the agreement. Ordinance designating the redeveloped project as a project area within the meaning of the TIF Act and instituting a TIF. I don't believe we have perfect answers at this time, and I believe it's still early in the project. We're not really at the development plan. We're looking at an agreement. While I agree that we can seek more answers, I do not personally feel tonight's the night to put an end to a project that gives us at least a potential to employ a lot of people, improve our tax status, and show that Belleville can move forward. We lose a lot of businesses. We have a lot of business coming in, but this would be a highlight to anything that happens in Belleville.
Mr. White, I agree with you, and I'm going to have Alderman Garrett Harner. Last thing he wants to do is be an alderman. To read, there's an area here in this the agreement.
Based upon the recital that Alderman White noted, section 6.2, I'm sorry, section 6.3 is an automatic termination provision in the event of certain occurrences, one of which is that the city does not create a tax increment financing district and a business district for the redevelopment project areas.
So there's a number of checks and balances along the way. But I will tell you, and this is not a threat, if the developer, if we can't stay on this schedule, it will jeopardize the project. And that's not a threat to hurry it up. I'm just saying, there are a lot of checks and balances along the way yet. There's, it came out late today, but we emailed all of you, and the developer said he was available anytime this afternoon, late afternoon, if some of you had questions or wanted to meet with him before tonight's meeting. They have been willing to meet you on a couple of occasions and will continue to do that as they have more information. But if we don't get through tonight and keep this project on track, they're going to have a hard time keeping their investors at their doorstep. I can guarantee you. And I think it's a must that we follow this schedule. But there, as Mr. White pointed out, and I appreciate your comments here, there's a lot of different points along the way yet that if we don't get the total satisfaction, the project can be terminated for various reasons. But I think we have to have some faith. These guys they've already invested considerable amounts of money to bring this project this far along. And I just think we have to have, and once again, and you hit it very much square on the head, the city is not giving any upfront money other than the study of this sewer. And if we're going to develop anything out of Route 15, the study of the sewer, I firmly believe, is the next step to advance that corridor. So, I think we need to move forward on this tonight. It needs to get to the next level. We need to continue this relationship and do our due diligence. But I think the last thing we want to do is let this developer believe at this point in time that the city is not going to be a cooperative partner and an encouraged partner to see this project move forward. There's plenty of times to continue to question and to halt this project along the way if all these questions aren't asked. But I can tell you, we're on a very rigorous time schedule to try to get this project done where they can keep all their investors in this program. Alderman Schneider, I will now let you speak.
Thank you. Thank you. First question, I asked this many times. The developer, he's here. Out of all the projects that he done, we got a list of them with pictures and that. How many of them has he asked for TIF money? Because it was an ultimatum. Either we give him the TIF money or the project is dead. It will not happen. So my question, first question is, how many projects have been done that he has done? Did he receive TIF money?
Okay, I'm not putting them on the spot right now, Alderman Schneider.
Well, I asked that at the Economic Development
but
meeting. You said the answer would come. You were sorry that they weren't here right after the press conference.
And you could have called them all week.
I asked it at the meeting.
I'm not putting them on the spot right here. If you want to talk to them, I know Mr. Langenfeld will talk to you anytime in the next day or so, or after the meeting tonight if he's still here, or whatever. But I can tell you,
okay,
there was a lot of information presented to you.
There's no answer to that question. My next one is, who will be signing the compliance letter on the date of the anniversary of this development agreement? Will the Shrine or the developers be signing this compliance letter? We send out compliance letters now.
It'll be the developer, or it could be the individual, depending on how it unfolds first. It could be in some aspects the individual business also. So that's to be totally determined. But the developer, as a general statement, will be the one.
Okay, the next question. Are we going to have a lien on this property for the money that we are, you said it's not putting up front, but we are spending money. This is costing us money. It will be costing us $227,000, $148 just for the sewer study. Okay? That money would go a long ways. As everybody knows, Belleville sewer rates are going to be rising. My question about liens. When it says that they're going to create so many jobs and so many restaurants, I think it should be stipulated they will create this many restaurants, this many hotels, have this many employees, and on the compliance letter, it should not be, yes, we have this and here's the amount of sales we have done. There should be the documentation that they have to send to the state for when they do their taxes. That should be also stapled to this compliance letter, and where I'm coming from on this with the up to 4 restaurants, we did a development agreement where it says, to expand the existing in the facility and include a 3rd screen. Well, it doesn't say when this 3rd screen has to be done by. So we give these development agreements, and there is no real concrete foundation of how we are going to, I'm speaking, how we are going to make this come about. I mean, this development was done, and there's still no 3rd screen. When will that happen? Will it happen? If and when? So for employees, amount of sales that they should be doing, and we should also have some kind of record that, yes, we will fill these rooms 90% of the time. What are we gonna, I mean, if they're not filled, there's not gonna be the revenue coming in. And it has been said, it's better now because there will be development out on there because the Shrine does not pay taxes. Well, the Shrine will probably not be paying taxes on the property because they don't have to, but the developer will be paying property taxes on the building. Well, you get your property tax bill, you will see you're assessed for the size of your lot, then the value of your buildings. So it's not true that this land will generate tax money because the Shrine will not have to be paid. And if this development goes down.
You're mistaken there, I'm sorry.
I'm mistaken?
Yes.
The Shrine then will be paying
On
property.
on the 33 acres, a tax bill will be received on the property and the buildings. It's a
I
fact.
thought it was said the Shrine, then why has there not been taxes on this property before now?
It was owned by the Oblates and it had an exemption, but once you build $50 million a building, there's no exemption because it's not gonna be religious activity, it's gonna be for business.
Okay, who will be responsible if this development fails?
The developer has the risk.
All right, yes, who will be responsible? Will we have spent all this money for the sewers and who knows what else can arise out of this? I just don't think we should be creating a TIF and all this without
obvious.
all the information as Alderman Hayden asked for.
Alderman Schneider, continue. Your time's
Yes, I
about
will,
up.
but yes, there's comments out there that they should be quiet. I just would like to see the contract state, yes, they will have so many employees and keep those employees. Same way with the amount of sales from filling the rooms.
Okay, thank you. I'm just gonna say this. The city has worked very hard to try to grow this 200-year-old city. And I apologize to the developer and to the Shrine for some of the attitudes and some of the tone in recent days. It's okay to ask questions, but I apologize because I think we've kind of crossed the line. I am very cautious protecting this city. And I know a lot of this is personally directed at me from a few of you. Let me just say this. This city will never grow anything in the future if we don't become a little bit more positive and a little bit more business friendly and a little bit more trusting. Now, we have developed a relationship here, and as I told you, and as Mr. Harner has told you, there are a number of steps along the way, termination points, that if there's not proper execution, we can protect the city's interest. We have minimal risk. We have everything to lose with the attitude we're sending out here tonight. Folks, you're not going to get more development coming to Belleville if this is how we come across. I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed that we are not, I'm not saying being totally trusting, open arms, and stupid, but I'm embarrassed that we're almost implicating that there's inappropriate criminal, unfunded things going on here.
Point of order. Point of order. You are making accusations, Your Honor,
Yes, you have.
against these city councilmen, and you are also advocating from the floor. You either have to be non-biased and
Okay.
run the meeting
You're-
or vacate your chair.
You're right, Mr. Hayden, and I'll stop here.
Thank you.
Alderman Schmidt.
I'd just like to say I agree with the mayor. 100% of the people in my ward have been positive. People on the street in Belleville are wanting this, and I hope you don't think we are not wanting you. We're thrilled that you've looked at Belleville, and I think our risk is negligible, and I think this is something we will look forward in 15 or 20 years. We will be glad we did it. We will not be like a previous council many years ago turned down St. Clair Square. They turned down 64, and you know, look where the people that took that are doing quite well. So I think, you know, just like to say that a lot of people do want it, and please don't feel we're against you.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to approve the redevelopment agreement with the Missionary Ventures LLC.
If you please, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. We have a motion to table. We have to deal with that first. So an aye vote on this tables this proposition tonight. A no vote will bring us back to the next piece of action. Roll call.
Heisler.
No.
Kinsella.
No.
Meyer.
No.
Schmidt.
No.
Ridgewitz.
No.
Randall.
Aye.
Anthony.
No.
Davidson.
No.
Silsby.
No.
Hayden.
Aye.
Seibert.
No.
White.
No.
Galletti.
Aye.
Musgrove.
No.
Orlett.
Aye.
Schneider.
Aye.
So how many we have?
11 to 5.
11 to 5. Do we need a we don't need a majority? So the motion fails to table. At this time, I'm asking for a motion, or did we have an original
We
motion?
have it.
We have an original motion,
Kinsella and Anthony.
and we have a second. Alderman Hayden, you have a question?
First, I want to yield, is any of the councilmen that wanted to speak first
Yeah, I
time?
would like to,
I'll yield till anybody that hasn't spoken yet.
thank you, Mr. Hayden. Mr. Chairman, Mr. City Council and citizens, I would just like to let you all know that, you know, as a representative of the 4th Ward, West End Ward, that I've talked to the rest of the aldermen in the 4th Ward. Well, I'll accept one. And we're in agreement on this project. West Belleville has suffered for many, many years. And it is time for West Belleville to enjoy some development like the rest of this city. Frankly, we're tired. Part of the ward does not have a TIF. We're suffering, the streets are bad. We need the jobs. We need our streets fixed. And if this is the only way that we can get part of that sales tax and part of the money that we need to get our streets fixed, then so be it. So be it. We are wholeheartedly for this project. And this is West Belleville. This is not East Belleville or the south end or the north end. This is West Belleville that's speaking. All the people that I've talked to in my ward are for this project. I had not one. Jim has had not one person to say no to this project. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Well said.
Anyone else who hasn't spoken yet that would like to? Alderman Hayden, you have something else?
Yes. I just want to add, Your Honor, because again, you're advocating, you can't do that as a chair, and you are totally mischaracterizing if you're including me in those type of discussions. I'm not accusing anybody of doing anything wrong, anything inappropriate. I'm asking questions that are protecting what I believe is the public's interest and proper due diligence that should be done by the city. And that is what I am doing. And I even ended the memo that the public can have, and they've been posted. If the Shrine's vitality depends on this project, then the city is seeking development to gain tax revenue to support its services. Both the city and the Shrine really have one shot to get this right. I've stated before, regardless of my position on TIFs, I care about the city of Belleville. I want the city to succeed. As an alderman, citizen, and member of the Roman Catholic faith, I have deep devotion towards the Shrine and only wish them continued success. I thank you both in advance for your time and efforts. Even a strong TIF supporter should know, basically, that these type of due diligent questions should be answered as it relates to the finances that the city is getting themselves involved in. And that is the only thing, Your Honor, the only thing that I was stating and advocating, and to put it in the realm of anything devious, mischief, stating that people have done something wrong, ethically, morally, or legal, is totally false.
Okay. Anyone else? We have a motion and second on the floor to approve a motion for a redevelopment agreement with Missionary Ventures LLC for the redevelopment of 33 acres located at Illinois Route 15 and north to Mazenod Drive. Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Ridgewitz.
Aye.
Randall.
No.
Anthony.
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Silsby.
Aye.
Hayden.
No.
Seibert.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Galletti.
Aye.
Musgrove.
Aye.
Orlett.
Abstain.
Schneider.
No.
The ayes have it. What's the final vote?
12 to 3 to 1.
12 to 3 to 1. The motion carries. Thank you for everyone's input. We move on now to the Alderman Heisler.
Yes, Your Honor. If there is no objection, I'd like to make the following three motions as a group.
Anybody disagree with this?
Not to vote on them together.
You don't want to vote together?
Not three, no.
Okay. We will
Go individually, okay?
We'll vote on them make the motion separately and vote on them separately. So moved, Your Honor. Motion number one, on behalf of the Master Sewer Committee, to approve change order number one in the amount of $2,825 and change order number two in the amount of $9,369.60 for the East Creek Watershed Project to Hare Plumbing and Heating Incorporated. So moved, Your Honor.
Motion by Alderman Heisler. Do I hear a second? Second by Alderman Schmidt. Do I hear discussion? Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella. Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Ridgewitz. Randall.
Aye.
Anthony.
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Silsby. Hayden. Seibert. White. Galletti. Musgrove.
Aye.
Orlett. Schneider.
Aye.
Motion carries. Alderman Heisler.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to make a motion on behalf of the Master Sewer Committee to approve the purchase of a new dump truck bid awarded to Mertz Ford in the amount of $47,347.20. So moved, Your Honor.
A motion by Alderman Heisler. Do I hear a second? Second by Alderman White. Do I hear discussion? Discussion, Alderman Gleddy?
The bid on it just has the two numbers inverted. It says 47,374, not 47. Which is it?
Jamie or Royce, can you answer that?
Not that it matters.
Got that?
The agenda's wrong.
Okay, so it's a typo. Let's read it one more time, Royce, loud and clear, so Dallas can get it and all you can copy it.
$47,374.20.
Does everybody have that?
So is the original, is he okay with the change? The original motion?
Yeah. Are you okay, everybody?
Yes.
We have a motion and we have a second by Alderman White. You guys approve that adjustment because of typo.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella. Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Ridgewitz. Randall. Anthony.
Aye.
Davidson. Silsby. Hayden. Seibert. White.
Aye.
Galletti. Musgrove. Orlett. Schneider.
Aye.
Motion carries. Alderman Heisler.
Yes, Your Honor. Motion to approve the agreement for professional services with Gonzalez Companies LLC for the Shrine Sewer Extension in the amount of $227,148. So moved, Your Honor.
Motion by Alderman Heisler. Do I hear a second? Second by Alderman Schmidt. Do I hear discussion? Yes, ma'am.
It's stated that the gas station and convenience store would be open by 10/6 of 2015. But it will take 2 years to do the sewer project, and I don't know if the study of it. How will we be treating this sewage? And what will it cost extra to treat this sewage?
Royce, do you want to answer that?
I don't believe it's gonna take 2 years to get it built, Mayor.
First of all.
And, if we have a temporary time, necessary, we are going to build the wet well large enough to hold the sewage and then pump it out, and take it to the treatment plant for treatment that way.
Excuse me, when you say pump it out, you'll be pumping it into trucks and taking it to, the West End station, or taking it down here to our new
We'll take it to
facility?
the new treatment plant.
And what's that going to cost to have this pumped out and hauled down there? I mean, that's gonna cost money.
The cost of fuel, I haven't done a calculation.
The guys are already working.
But it's still time that they're going to be taking and pumping it out of the tank, driving it to the, and how often? And if they say we're going to fill these rooms like they say, well, the hotel won't be open, excuse me on that one. But the gas station and convenience store, I just think this is putting the cart before the horse. I mean, we're not even gonna have a way of treating the sewage proper, well, it'll be treated properly, but it isn't going to be done where it's not costing the city anything.
Well, this is not the first time a development has had to do something like this to work with them to make this happen. There has to be sometimes some temporary solutions until you get to the permanent fix. And Royce and I have talked about this with the developer from the very beginning, but we're hopefully going to get that sewer in a lot quicker. Okay? We have a motion and a second on this approval. There's a request for approval of the 227-148 for Gonzalez Companies for the engineering. Any further discussions? Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Rudowitz.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Anthony.
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Silsby.
Aye.
Hayden.
Aye.
Seibert.
Aye.
White.
Aye.
Galletti. Musgrove.
Aye.
Orlett. Schneider.
No.
Ayes have it. Next item here, Alderman Rudowitz.
Yes, make a motion on behalf of the Health and Housing Committee to approve low bid of $34,945 from Schaefer Excavating for the demolition of 107 South 35th Street, 214 North 3rd Street, and 105 South 44th Street.
Motion by Alderman Rudowitz, second by Alderman Kinsella.
Yes, I'd also like to make a correction. Instead of 34,945, it should be 35,945.
Sound right,
That's
Mr.
what's on
Sable?
the original bid list.
Okay, so 35,945. Okay. Everybody note that?
Yes.
And you accept that change, okay, both of you? Okay, we have a motion of a second to approve this bid to Schaefer Excavating for these demolitions. Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Rudowitz.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Anthony.
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Silsby.
Aye.
Hayden. Seibert. White.
Aye.
Galletti.
Aye.
Musgrove.
Aye.
Orlett. Schneider.
Aye.
Motion carries. Alderman Rudowitz.
I make a motion on behalf of the Health and Housing Committee to approve to eliminate 3 part-time inspectors' positions, 2 electrical and 1 mechanical, and hire 1 full-time inspector to cover both the electrical and the mechanical inspections.
Motion by Alderman Rudowitz. Do I hear a second? Second by Alderman White. Do I hear discussion? Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Rudowitz.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Anthony.
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Silsby.
Aye.
Hayden. Seibert. White.
Aye.
Galletti. Musgrove.
Aye.
Orlett. Schneider.
Aye.
Motion carries. We flip the page to page 4. Motions from Alderman Silsby.
Your Honor, on behalf of the Finance Committee, I'd like to make a motion to approve the low bid of $17,344 from International Mulch for playground rubber mulch at Bellevue Park. For point of note, is the Park Board also made a motion to recommend this approval. So moved.
We have a motion by Alderman Silsby, second by Alderman Seibert. Any discussion?
Just gonna ask if we can read them all together.
Can we read them all together? Is there objection to that?
No.
Mr. Silsby, Alderman Silsby, would you continue?
I will gladly
Best
do
news
that.
I heard all night.
Second motion to approve the low bid of $27,463 from Sonnenberg for park asphalt sealing and striping. Park Board also made a motion to recommend. A motion to waive liens on 1106 West Main Street as requested by the Belleville Historical Society. Motion to approve the low bid of $169,700 from C.J. Schlosser and Company to provide audit services for 5 years. Motion to approve service order with AT&T for rate reductions on current services. And motion to approve the budget amendments as recommended by the Finance Director. So moved.
We have a motion by Alderman Silsby, second by Alderman Seibert on those motions as just read. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Ridgewitz.
Aye.
Randall.
Aye.
Anthony.
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Silsby.
Aye.
Hayden. Seibert. White.
Aye.
Galletti.
Aye.
Musgrove.
Aye.
Orlett. Schneider.
Aye.
Motion's carried. We have a bunch of communications. Is there any problem if we read them as a group, or is there any ones that you have to?
As a group by title only.
Okay. Would you go ahead and proceed?
Yes.
Well, there's no title only, and that's just as a group. There's just a lot of communications.
12A, request from Belleville Fire Department to hold their third annual open house at Firehouse Number 4 on April 4th, 2015 from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. 12B, request to hold the annual Belleville School District 118 parade on Monday, May 18, 2015. The rain date would be May 19, 2015. The parade will assemble at Washington School on South Charles Street and leave at 9:30 a.m. The parade route will be north on South Charles Street to East Main Street, west on East Main Street to North 3rd Street, north on North 3rd Street to Franklin School. Parade ends at Huff Park. Request also includes traffic and pedestrian control during the parade. 12C, request from Metro East Pride asking permission to hold their 8th annual Pride Festival on Saturday, June 20th, 2015 from 8 a.m. until midnight. The request included street closure at the fountain before 1st Street to 3rd Street. There will be no vendors in front of Governor French Academy so the bands can set up. The stage will be at 2nd Street. Electricity is needed on both sides of West Main as well as the corners of 1st and 2nd Streets. 15 tables and 40 garbage toters are requested. 12D, request from the September 11th Memorial Walkway of Southern Illinois Committee to hold a 9/11 moment of remembrance ceremony on Friday, September 11, 2015 at 11 a.m. at Firehouse Number 4, 1125 South Illinois Street. 12E, request from the September 11th Memorial Walkway Committee to host their 4th annual 5K run. This event will be held on Sunday, September 13, 2015 with a start time of 9:11 a.m. The start and finish area is North 3rd Street and West C Street between Huff Park and Franklin School. The committee is requesting 1 or 2 police officers for traffic control at to be determined locations. They are also requesting street barricades and traffic cones to be placed in certain areas. 12F, request from Belleville Area Humane Society to hold their 2nd annual Halloween parade on 10/25/15 at 1 p.m. The parade will start at the city-owned lot at 9th and West Main Street and will proceed east on West Main towards the fountain, ending at 1st and West Main. Following the parade, West Main from the crosswalk entrance to the West Main Street to 2nd Street and also 1st Street from A Street to Washington will be closed. There will be a social gathering from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The event will include costume contests for dogs and their owners with family-friendly music. Request is also for use of 20 barricades and 20 cones from the street department to close the side streets. Request is for no parking signs along the parade route on the morning until after the duration of the parade. 12G, request to approve the closing of East Main Street on Friday, October 30th, 2015 from 4 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. from the east side of High Street to the west side of Charles Street in the first blocks of North and South Jackson Streets and North and South Charles Streets for the city's annual downtown Halloween trick-or-treat event to be held from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. The event is typically held the Friday before Halloween, so volunteers and participants can be with families on October 31st. 12H, request to approve the closing of State Route 159 from A Street to Washington Street and the first block of East Main Street and West Main Street from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Wednesday, November 11th, 2015 for the city's annual Veterans Day ceremony to be held at 11 a.m. at the Belleville Public Square. Request includes approval to hold or to allow the ceremony to take place inside the lobby of City Hall in case of inclement weather. 12I, request to approve the city hosting the December Business After Hours event at 510 West Main Street on Thursday, December 3rd, 2015 from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and allow alcohol to be served at the event. 12J, request to hold the 3rd annual Ringing of the Bell ceremony on the northeast quad of the public square near Kurt's Clock on Friday, January 1st, 2016. This ceremony requires no street closures.
Motion by Alderman Seibert, second by Alderman Meyer. Any discussions on this list of requests? All in favor to approve these requests signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. There's no petitions this evening. I'd ask for a motion to read by title only. Resolution 3212, 3213, 3214, 3215, 3217, 3218, 3219, and third, an IDOT permit resolution We don't have a number on that one. 3220, I guess it's gonna be, right?
Okay, deal.
3220.
I'll make the motion.
To read them as by title only and as a group?
Yes.
Anybody object to that? We have a second for this.
What happened to 16?
It apparently was already done, or it's whole pending, maybe it could be, possibly. We have a motion by Alderman Galetti. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Schmidt, and that's to read by title only and as a group.
Yes.
All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
14A, resolution number 3212, a resolution for temporary closure of Route 159 for the Memorial Day Parade. 14B, resolution number 3213, a resolution for temporary closure of Route 159 for the Shriners Parade. 14C, resolution number 3214, a resolution for temporary closure of Route 159 for the Chili Cook-Off event. 14D, resolution number 3215, a resolution for temporary closure of Route 159 for the St. Patrick's Day Parade. 14F, resolution number 3217, resolution for temporary closure of Route 159 for the Oktoberfest. 14G, resolution number 3218, a resolution amending the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning on the first day of May 2014 and ending on the 30th day of April 2015. 14H, resolution number 3219, a resolution amending the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning on the first day of May 2014 and ending on the 30th day of April 2015. 14I, IDOT permit resolution number 3220, a permit resolution to work with IDOT right-of-way at North Illinois Street and the Richland Bike Trail.
Motion to approve resolution 3212, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So moved.
Motion by Alderman Silly, do I hear a second? Second by Alderman Schmidt. Any discussion? Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Ridgewitz. Randall. Anthony. Davidson. Silsby. Hayden. Seibert. White. Galletti. Musgrove. Orlett. Schneider.
Aye.
Motion carries to approve all those resolutions. We have no ordinances. Is there any unfinished business? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I was just wondering when we might have the Meredith home back on our agenda.
It will be soon. It will be soon. I'll be honest with you. We have a couple of the proposals. Eric and I talked today. We haven't had time, ladies and gentlemen, between the St. Elizabeth scenario and the Shrine and some other business and being people short in that office, we have to find some time the next few days ahead to even sit down and go through the proposals before we would start to release them, because in case there's some confidential information in there or some, we have not even opened them. We have a couple. It's got to get back on the agenda. I would say, Mr. Randall, I would say it's probably going to go back on the March Economic Development agenda will be where it'll go back to in the next few days ahead.
Thank you.
Okay? Yes, ma'am.
When we came in this evening, there was a paper here from PCMG on each of our desks. Do we know what this is for?
We're getting there. I'm going to talk about that here in 1 second.
Okay, so hang on. Any other unfinished business? Moving on to miscellaneous and new business. We do have a motor fuel claims in the amount of $35,130.35. Alderman Seibert. Motion by Alderman Seibert, second by Alderman White. Any other discussion or comments on the motor fuel claims? Roll call on that item.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella. Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Ridgewitz. Randall. Anthony.
Aye.
Davidson. Silsby. Hayden. Seibert. White. Galletti. Musgrove. Orlett. Schneider.
Aye.
Motor fuel claims passed. Any other miscellaneous or new business? Okay, hearing none.
Well, just want to address.
Okay, I'm sorry, you want to go ahead and ask?
Yeah, I did. Jennifer put those on your desk, and the reason is because if you noticed recently, the city of Collinsville went from paper to tie pads. And that is a quote of what the cost would be if we moved to go paperless. And there's a lot of reasons we should. And I just want to open the discussion, not to get you too concerned that we're going to stop giving you paper, but in the near future, I'd like to see us move in that direction. And it would be cost efficient due to the many things that require us to do by using paper. Also, we have our police department who has to deliver the packets, and that's,
Is this for us then?
Yeah, just to keep,
okay.
look at, maybe make some calls on your own. This would be a government contract, so it's a government rate, so it's much cheaper than somebody who would just, be going out to buy one.
And what I would suggest is that if we want to do this, and until today I hadn't seen this, I would suggest that we get it on the Finance Committee agenda to start it there, because we're in the process of the budget right now, et cetera. That would be the appropriate place to start having a discussion about this.
Yeah, exactly. That's just to get you thinking. And then the one other thing I did want to announce, if you've seen online, tomorrow night we're going to be having a public town hall meeting here to discuss Belleville Township and its future. And I'm also excited to tell you, also, if you read, you'd see that Jay Hoffman is currently drafting a bill in Springfield to allow Belleville Township to be dissolved and allow the city to continue the general assistance services. That way we can truly help the needy in our community in the most efficient way possible. And so tomorrow night, 6:30, anybody who would like to come give their opinion, we're going to save over $500,000 a year as a city, and we're going to have $700,000 that we're going to be giving back to you, the taxpayer, if we can go through with this. So come give your opinion and make sure that State Representative Hoffman knows this is something that our city wants and needs. And that's it.
I ask for a motion to go in executive session to discuss personnel litigation. Do we have any workman's comp this evening?
So moved.
Imminent litigation, okay. We have, then we'll transfer that item to the minutes from earlier in the meeting. So we have a motion is for those stated reasons, motion by Alderman Schmidt, second by Alderman Meyer, to go into executive session. I'll grant about a 5-minute break. Ladies and gentlemen, all in favor of going into executive session for those stated reasons, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 5 Okay, we're back in open session, and we have one item of business. I'd ask for a motion to read by title only, resolution number 3221.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Silsby, second by Alderman Schmidt. Any discussion? All in favor of reading resolution 3221 by title only, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 3221, resolution authorizing tolling agreement with IMET.
Motion to approve resolution 3221.
Motion by Alderman Silsby, second by who? Second by Alderman Schneider. Do I hear any further discussion? Roll call.
Heisler.
Aye.
Kinsella. Meyer.
Aye.
Schmidt.
Aye.
Ridgewitz. Randall. Anthony. Davidson.
Aye.
Silsby. Hayden. Seibert. White. Galletti. Musgrove. Orlett. Schneider.
Aye.
Motion carried. Motion to adjourn. Alderman Schmidt, second by Alderman Meyer. Sorry you got beat, Alderman Gleddy. All in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.